What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out.
Pyros.
Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I've become. Can't you see it in my face? But even living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape.
Good morning. Oh, and I see we've got Drew is sharing this morning. We got Gracial this morning and the lovely Purple Paw Prince. Welcome in, Drew. I know you just had a big adventure. I've been watching your posts. I really don't do Instagram, but I've been watching your Twitter posts and stuff. So it looked like you had a lot of fun and got to what was it? Smoke a lot of different brands of tobacco. Yes. So anyway, good morning. So you know, Monday night, the Xyloid. Well, before we get into all that, we're going to wish a very happy birthday today to a special young man, little Tommy C. Today is his 7th birthday, so make sure and take some time today, sometime when you get a chance to, through, of course, Tommy, of course, you know, because little C doesn't have a Twitter or anything, but you can let little C know that you send him well wishes and a big happy birthday, because you know he's 7 years old today. He is becoming a big boy, and so we're glad to see that. So just make sure, and like I say, you get a chance to send some well wishes, send some happy birthday wishes to little Tommy through Tommy. So, anyway, on with my story. Um, so Xylee decided to declare war against the now recording podcast, and then she lumped me in there because what the crap? Okay, are you guys there? Ha, I guess my ISP had a little hiccup this morning. I don't know how much. Yeah, okay. All right. Uh, so I don't know exactly where it dropped out. So let me just back up a little bit. So Zali declared war Monday on the now recording podcast, boys, and myself as well as she even extended it on to Dave, and I thought I had averted this. I thought that my pulsating pecks of love and my hips don't lie was enough to prevent all this, but evidently it was not, and maybe rightfully so. Maybe I threw too many strays her way. I guess I have a habit, and I don't always intend to. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I just it's I don't know, inadvertently. But anyway, I knew I had to kick it to another gear, right? And I had been working on something um, for over a year. I had been planting seeds. I had been working my magic, I guess, if you will. And so I decided yesterday that it was time to break the the glass box. And so I started out by doing a screen grab and tweeting this out. And I purposely tagged Max in it, D Max, because this is from one of his videos. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that probably most of you guys, shooters everywhere. Yeah, I know, Zolly. I know. I know. And I just will say this that, I didn't want this. I didn't want this, but I'm in this now. So, anyway, the chips will fall where the chips will fall. So I tweeted out this little picture, this little screen grab, and I'm sure that most of you guys don't even know who this guy is because this is going way, way back. This is going back around. This guy was making videos around 2015, 2016, right? And he had a very short stint, but he did get picked up and did have videos made on him by Pyrocynical. And of course, DMAX had him in one of his videos. And I think Mr. Black Darkness 666 also covered this guy. And so I just want to see just really, truly how many old heads we had out there. How many people do we still have around from that era that follow me? And also to kind of poke Max a little bit. And I even gave a little hint. Okay. And so uh, Das Dingo knew exactly who it was. This was this dude was he called himself, I believe it was like T Rex or roaring T Rex, something like that. He said he was a T Rex, and he made little commentary videos and so forth, and he drank a lot of energy drinks and things of that nature. He was, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was like from Sweden. Um, but anyway, so that was the first little jab. And then D-Max was streaming, and I noticed that he was starting to get towards the end of his stream yesterday. And oh, I don't have the right one. Hang on a second here. Let me get. Are we back? Evidently, my ISP is absolutely positively just crapping the bed this morning, and it keeps dropping. All right, I will suffer through this a little bit longer, but if it keeps on, I'm dropping or whatever. I won't. I won't keep you guys around because I know it's annoying for you guys as well. We're having some storms come through right now. If it's not the ice storms now, now we got these torrential rainfalls coming. So anyway, I clipped out this. This is a little segment, and this was from the origin video of where the real D-Max manifested himself. Now, this is a video that was from 2016, and Max did, I clipped this, and he actually watched it on his stream, and then he actually went and he watched the original origin video of that, right? So you guys will have to, if you're not watching D-Max's streams, I guess basically what I'm trying to say over on Twitch, you got to watch. He's entertaining. So anyway, this is a little snippet from a video from back, like I say, 2016. Very dramatic, very theatrical. But of course, you have to understand, he was going to film school when all this was going on.
I pledge my services to you and you alone for the rest of my time here on this planet. You are my queen now and forever. I have no idea what most of your stances are, but I trust you mostly because you're hot. So let's see what this Wednesday Adam on spring break looking bitch is all about, shall we?
Okay, so like I said, just a short little snippet, right? Max played that, and so he was like, and then, well, this occurred.
I can't do it. I don't want to do it.
Because see, this is the Max you guys know, right? He was a filmmaker, not a gay filmmaker. Yes. So anyway, this is the Max we all know and love today, right? This is wholesome Max. This is Pokemon Max. This is Kingdom of Heart Max. This is, he's in this little safe bubble that he built for himself.
Do it right now, but maybe soon. I don't wanna. I mean,
when he picked up the mask, I knew I had him.
I don't know. Should I? All right, fine. I'm done. I'm done for today, but I appreciate everybody who came out to the stream. Thank you all for your support.
Thank you for your support.
The darkness is strong with me. Need to make a Twitter video of you getting the mask out of the closet and putting it on dramatically. Oh, I'm way ahead of you on that one, boy. We're gonna be doing something like that. You know what? Just to prove a point. Just to prove
the
a
point, Max.
Just 1 second.
Yeah.
You see this?
Yep.
You see this shit?
I was impressed. I actually was impressed that he had this. This was actually from one of his videos. This was, he kept this from clear back. I don't know. I'd have to go and rewatch all of his videos. But I remember this board from the video. First, I was very impressed that he even still had the handkerchief that he used as part of his character. That had me impressed right there. Then when he drug out the board, I was like, oh yes. And I don't know if you guys can see it down here in the chat, but I was in there going, oh, be still my beating heart.
Do you have any idea how long I've been holding on to this one fucking piece of goddamn... You see this? What does it say? Step 1. Wait, what is it? Step one. Step one. Become real. I did.
Now, I understand a lot of you guys are probably like, hold it, because this doesn't make sense to you, right? You don't know the lore. You don't know the backstory. You don't know the origins for all that. Well, that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to explain the backstory and the origin, because I manifested this to the here and now. You know, we are basically 7 years, right? Fast forwarded to the future. We're going back in time. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys where all this came from.
So it's checked off, right? Step two. What is step two? Kill the cartoon. I did do that too.
That was our first little glimpse of the real
Step
D-Max
three.
again.
Take control. I've been in control, baby. And now it's time to go.
And he's back, right? So, anyway, so D-Max is back. Well, and then, of course, D-Max does what D-Max does. He goes in full theatrical mode, and he makes, so go check out his Twitter feed. You can see all of his little videos that he makes, and, you know, he responds to different people like Hannah Animal, and I think he even gets one in there to Aussie Wordsmith and so forth, right? You see just a whole big, this was the D-Max that and he, poor Zolly. Zolly's confused. Zolly doesn't know what's going on, right? Okay. So let's take a trip back in time. The time was 2000 in, let's see, what was it here? Let me get the exact. Okay. This was in 2016. This was summertime. This was like early June. And what had happened was the big leafy pyrocynical grade A under a Keemstar War had started, right? This was shortly after Leafy had flew across the country and had come out in around, I think it was in around where Keem lives, and or maybe was that where Keem was having them meet up. It's been a few days, so I don't remember. Keem was, I take it back. Keem was having a meetup, and like more in the central part of the United States. I want to think maybe around Missouri or someplace like that or something. And anyway, he had booked to have a helicopter ride. And so Leafy came in and hooked up with Keemstar because they had started this. Leafy was just starting to really become a really big YouTuber at that time. He was starting his upward arc as far as subscribers and stuff, right? And shortly thereafter, he and Pyro and Grade A they did the little term, right? And the little war started between them and Keemstar. You know, that's where we got the famous video from Keemstar going, "Why am I still getting hate?" Remember the video? If you don't, I think it's still up on his channel. You can go check it out. But people started drawing, I guess, lines. They started drawing, you know, were they Team Keem? Were they Team Leafy, Team Pyro, Team Grade A, so on and so forth. And so I'm watching all this. And at this point in time, D-Max and I did not even know of each other's existence. And one fateful afternoon, Keemstar tweeted out, because D-Max had made a video in defense of Keemstar. And I watched the video. Now, the video in itself is a good video, but what I was more impressed by was I knew enough about producing video or making videos and stuff that this guy was talented. And this guy had some skills. And so I started interacting with D-Max. And D-Max interacted back, and we would talk every once in a while on Twitter and interact with each other, whatever. But again, he was a young college kid going to, or he wasn't a kid, he was a young man. He was going to college. And so, his time was really, ate up between school and so forth. But this was the first video that before I ever saw D-Max. And I'm not going to watch all of it because it's 18 minutes long. I wouldn't do that to you guys. But I'm going to watch just a little bit of it and just to kind of let you guys kind of get what impressed me about Max.
I didn't want to make this video. Honestly, while writing this, I was giving myself a fucking ulcer. Keemstar. Keemstar.
I mean, you see the animation? I mean, he was actually doing animation. It wasn't just a matter of just having a cartoon-esque character on the screen and it moving and bouncing around. Because there were some creators that was doing that back then, right? if you don't remember, like, Hey, Shut Your Mouth, right? He did a little video, and I don't even know if you can find the cartoon series anymore or not. But he had done this whole cartoon little series of whatever, involving like I think it was Colossal's Crazy, Keemstar, maybe Dolan Dark. I want to think was in it. Just different prominent characters back then within the commentary community. But they were like little still cartoon graphics, and every once in a while he would take their mouths, and it was a very block, kind of like akin to like on South Park. I can't remember the name of the characters, but the ones from up in Canada, where when they talk, it's very like it's up and down. It's a very block style. But Max's his was, to me, was just that next level up, that next level of talent. And that's what really kind of drew me to him, and about how Terrence and Phillips, yes, the infamous, it was a $20. It was actually a $20. He paid him $20 for the animation, which was one of the probably biggest hits that Leafy ever took, and was probably the beginning of his downfall as far as support. Yes, exactly. And so I know that I'm kind of, I know I'm kind of rambling on stuff, but I want you guys to appreciate that the talent that Max really and truly is.
You are the internet equivalent of Donald J. Trump, the Republican presidential nominee that, while bringing up a lot of important issues that the community needs to know about and discuss, you do it in such a way that makes you near undefendable. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of what I feel truly needs to be said, let me get some things out of the way as to not make myself look like a complete and total scumbag for liking you, because that's apparently something that can happen now. First of all, anyone who criticizes me for hopping on the bandwagon and talking about Keemstar can just fuck right off, seriously. Yes, I am making a video for notoriety and attention. What of it? I want to be successful, so I should talk about the things that people want to hear about. And since
So, anyway, and here's one of the things I'll say, because Max made this statement during his stream yesterday, that he feels like I go back and watch his catalog from time to time. And he would be correct. I do go back and watch his catalog from time to time. And I'm going to tell you something about the insight that this young man had. Again, this was in 2016. It still rings true today, right? A lot of times if you go back and if you look at old videos back in that time, they don't stand the test of time. They don't stand, right? I'm going to give you an example. Now, this is his catalog, right? He started off covering like Katie Triggers Me and that whole thing, right? But he even did one on FERPA. I'm sorry, not FERPA, FUPA, right? Now, FUPA was the legal fund that was established and set up for when at that point in time it was H3H3, right? Was going through that legal battle, right? Because they were going the whole fair use, right? I'm going to just tell you something. Go watch this video. Max nails this to the wall, because even back then, that shows how intelligent this man is. Okay. He had enough forethought to understand exactly what was going to happen and what was really going to go on, right? So fast forward, like I said, he's making his videos, and you can see, you know, he got a few views, like the Katie Triggers Me, his first one, 40K. Katie Triggers Me Falls Apart, 37K. He does a little introduction, this I'm D Max, uh, 6K, 8K on or almost 9K on the D Max one, right? Katie Triggers Me, 50K, right? So he got some views, and his channel stands at 3.6K. Now I think, and I don't want to talk out of turn, and I don't hope I'm not, you want a link? Oh, I'm gonna give you guys a link, but I don't want you leaving just yet. I don't want you jumping over there to go ingest this stuff. And here's the thing, Max, I think Max, he looks back at this and he looks at this and he says, "Oh, it was so cringy." It was okay. Yes, at times it was cringy, but it was in line. It was in step with what the times were in 2016. Okay, 2017. So if you go over and you look, oh, this is cringy. Okay, fine. Yeah, sure, cringy. But if you weren't around back then, you don't. I guess it's kind of hard for you to put on those glasses and look at it. I was there. But he covers. There's some people like he covers that I'm not even for sure. It like for example, I showed you guys this guy here, right? Like he's not. His channel, his YouTube channel, got banned. Right? He came back a couple of times, whatever, kept trying to. I looked for him yesterday. I could not find him. I don't think he even is, or if he is, he's changed up his brand so much that I was not able to locate him. Max and I were actually talking not too long ago, and was about Katie Triggers Me. I believe I found her, and I did share that with Max, but I'm not 100% certain. So I'm not going to discuss and talk about if that's her or not, because this young lady was having some issues and stuff at the time. And so I don't want to thrust her back into the limelight, as it were. Or if this is not the right person, I definitely don't want to do that. Right. Then of course we've got the Orthomator. I don't know if this cat's even around. Goddess Marina, again, Shorby, you know, like I said, but I hope Max brings this channel back to life. The Twitter videos and stuff that you guys saw last night, that was kind of, I hope Max had fun with that. I know I did. I even made a little video. I am not the artist that Max is. I don't have the editing skills. I'm not a creative person. I don't have. So that little video that I did last night, that was about the extent of my artistic abilities. But I guess what I'm trying to say in this stream today is that I, for one, am glad that Max is back in the community. And I know that he is kind of, because I know yesterday when I was in his Twitch stream and stuff, his fans that he has from his, playing his games, and because he does a lot of playthroughs and stuff with different types of games, like Pokemon games and the Kingdom of Heart games and things like that. And I kind of busted his hump a little bit about those type of games in my video, but uh, it's just all in jest. I really don't, hey, I don't fault anybody. If anybody wants to play a game, play a game. If you enjoy playing the game, play the game. I'm not one of these guys that's going to shame somebody because they. Oh, I might poke a little fun at you if you're my, if I think you're a friend or whatever. If you're playing something like, I don't know, Minecraft, and I'm getting my Twitter feed full of bragging about that they have bees or that they're able to keep their foxes inside of their kitchen because they like to stray and run off because they're completely totally ate up with Minecraft. Banana grabber. But even in that, that's just jest. You know what I'm saying? But um, no, the thing that I'll say is when the Hen House podcast involved me in a storyline, right? The whole origin, birth, and who's the father, right? I thought that was fun. And I thought that was something that was some lighthearted stuff that needed to go on that needs to, to happen because, um, you know, I can remember a time in the commentary community where creators collaborated with each other, right? Where they entertained. It wasn't just always a matter of looking for the next person to expose as being some sort of a sex pest or some sort of, you know, sexual deviant. Um, they entertained as well. Yes, the creators back then would commentate on creators and bad takes that they had and things of that nature. But then there was also, they would create content that was entertaining too. It wasn't always just a constant barragement of negativity, negativity, negativity. And so when those two young ladies started doing that reminded me, and it drew me back to a time I was like, yeah, that's what I would love to start seeing happen. Now, unfortunately, that's not going to be able to continue on, and we're not going to be able to do that. Um, uh, that that relationship is not going to be able to, because that podcast has died. And if you guys have watched the Clear as Mud podcast, you know that I extended an offer to try to mend things, but it became obvious even to me, and I'm slow sometimes. Subsequent events that occurred, whatever, that's not going to be a possibility. So uh, the iteration of the Hen House as it was is will not be going forward, but each one of the members of that podcast, Ghosty and Ember Lily and Bunny Buttons, are going to go on to make content, and I will look forward to that. And I'm looking forward to when they start producing that stuff, so I can support them as there as well, right? Because I still think that they're entertaining, and I think that they're funny, and so I will support them. Um, but then when Zada came forward and started this, I said, this could be fun to do as well. But we're going to have to not take ourselves so seriously, and we're going to have some fun with it. We're going to have to, uh, how dare I say this? I guess, kind of make fools of ourselves a little bit, kind of get a little bit silly nilly, and so that's what I started doing. And I know it's kind of out of the character for me because I'm just this old man who sits and uh, rambles on and talks and tells stories and drinks coffee and covers um, things that are happening on the internet here and there and whatever, and celebrity news and what have you. But if I can in any way help, bring through this, collaborations and entertainment and making it fun again, I'm all for that. And that's why I'm glad to see Max did what he did. He let his creative sides really start, coming forth again, and doing the acting. Um, his shows are very entertaining on Twitch and stuff, but I wanted him to bring that, and I wanted him to bring that into to this side of things too, right? I want because a lot of people are just now getting to know Max as far as his Twitch streams, but I wanted his Twitter side, and I wanted his YouTube side that he's starting to come back in. I wanted them to know that as well, and so I kind of pushed him, um, and I take responsibility for that. And I know that for some people it was a little bit, because they didn't know the lore, and they didn't know the backstory, and I probably should have done a little bit better job of maybe trying to help set that up or whatever. Um, uh, I, and I'll just tell you, any of you guys that I know, like Drew was in the chat. I see Zali saying she wants to work with Max. I'll tell you, um, Max is highly creative guy. It's not just that. Yes, he does awesome job creating assets and stuff. If you're a streamer, like the video intros, like like Dave has, the video intros we have on the Clears Mud, um, all the assets, the screens and stuff, the different the screen stuff that we use on Clear as Mud, and the ones that Dave has on his, that was all done by Max. So yeah, you can hire him and he can do all those kind of stuff too, right? But he's extremely talented too in other aspects. So yeah, reach out to him, collab with him, work with him. Um, I can't put this guy over enough, and I think the world of him. I think he's a really good egg. Um, you know, um, so hopefully, this has kind of introduced you guys a little bit more to Max and his creativity, and because I said I would. Uh, there you go. There is the link to Max's channel, the real deal Max's channel, right? Now he's got other channels and stuff too, where he uploads his segments and stuff like his playthroughs, and those are entertaining stuff too. Don't get me wrong, right? That's his, that's just like his gaming and all that kind of stuff that he offloads from Twitch, and he sets up segments and stuff. And like right now, he's playing through the new God of War. I think that's what it is, God of War. The one about the dude and his son, the Vikings or whatever. I think it's called God of War. Anyway, you guys, there's so many games out there, and I just don't get to play all those things. I don't get to play games like I used to. But anyway, he and Max, he tells a story while he's playing the story, if that makes sense. And he anyway, he's entertaining. Go check that out. But I also wanted to share this because I think this channel here and his older videos shows and highlights. And here's the thing: this was how good he was in 2016. He's gotten better because like a ball of wine over time. It's just gotten better. It's just aged, and it's just gotten better. And so I'm honestly, the second channel is a dumping ground, to be honest. Well, you know what? That's fine. Um, because I've been trying to come up with ideas about, I tried going the Twitch route, and I've got a Twitch channel, and I used to play games and stream over on Twitch and what have you, but I don't know, it just didn't seem to. I just never could get any traction, and I think it's because nowadays there are just so many people that play video games and are video game streamers, and unless you have like something that's really just stand out, like you've got to be like a tier one like gamer, like mad skills, which I'm just not anymore. Maybe at one day I was, if you go way, way back in my history, back in the, well, early 2000s, I did compete professionally in video games, Counter Strike, but that was a long time ago. And, I just can't do that stuff anymore. And it's frustrating because I've tried playing some of the modern, FPSs like Valorant and things like that, and I just get mad at myself because I just don't have the reaction time, and I don't, I can't, do the headshots and things like that that you've got to do to be able to. Um, so, um, anyway, I'm just kind of rambling on a little bit, I guess, or whatever. Um, but no, seriously, go check Max out. I know, uh, Zali, thankfully, I think she took a night off last night. I don't believe she streamed last night. I think her and Max. I think her and Matt uh, took the night off because they went like 2 nights in a row where they were like doing five and six. I think first night was like 6 hours, and then the night after was like 7 hours. I tried to watch the 7 hour stream yesterday. I think I got about halfway through it, and I just ran out of daylight. But so hopefully Zali got her some rest last night. Oh my! Why is it? I don't know. All right, evidently it's still up and down on this freaking thing. Um, so one last little thing, and then I'm gonna get out of here because I guess it's just unstable as crap this morning. Um, every timeline. I don't know about y'all's timeline on Twitter, but mine the last couple of days have just been consumed with this new Harry Potter or the Hogwarts Legacy game, right? And like all these people are not all these people, but you've got this group of people that are going after anybody that has anything to do. If they're streaming the game, they even had a website. I think the website is now down, but they did have a website that was cataloging the streamers and stuff that was playing that. And even Hassan Piker talked when he said that he and some of the other bigger streamers weren't going to stream it because it just wasn't worth dealing with all the hate that comes with it. Um, there's even a clip out there where a streamer and his girlfriend was streaming the game, and I guess his girlfriend was, and I think I don't know anything about him, but because I've never watched their content, but the takeaway I had is he would play the video games and the girlfriend would be there beside and would be interacting with chat and relaying things from chat and stuff to him, and it's like kind of sort of kind of like a joint review type thing of these video games that they do. And there was so much hate and stuff coming in through the chat that the girlfriend actually broke down, and I think they wound up having to end the stream. Um, so it's and even I think Keffels is. I mean, she's catching some heat from it as well. Um, but I did see this, and I did find this a little bit funny. Tipster put this out and said he didn't know that John Swan was in Hogwarts Legacy, and of course has a picture. I guess one of the characters within Hogwarts Legacy, and I have to admit it is kind of funny. Yeah, it does kind of look like John Swan. So yeah, I did think that was a little bit funny. Um, you know, here's the thing. That's not my bag because it's not. I just my sons like the books. They love the movies. I can remember taking them to some midnight showings of one or two of the movies. They talked to me into going to, like I say, the premiere, midnight premiere of the movies or whatever. I think I probably was about half asleep through most of them. Um, so I don't really have whatever, right? I understand that the author has said some things that has upset, uh, the LGBT, community, and she's not well thought of. Um, but from my understanding, I don't even think she has anything to do with this game, other than the game manufacturer. I'm sure licensed, was so she got paid an upfront fee. I'm sure to use her characters or to use this world. But beyond that, I mean, it's not like she was in there helping them develop the storylines. She wasn't in there helping them to do the coding or any of that stuff, right? And it's my understanding that there's even like a transgendered character in the game. So I don't understand. I maybe I'm just I don't know. Maybe I'm just not in touch as maybe as I need to be. I don't know, but I think the bottom line is this is if you want to play the game, play the game. If you don't want to play the game, don't play the game. But I don't think you necessarily should go and try to shame and guilt somebody because they're playing the game and you don't want to play the game. I think that's very small of you, and I think it's very childish and immature. Um, and let people find joy where they can find joy. Um, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think it's that hard of a concept to grasp. Maybe right? Maybe, but maybe I'm missing something. And if I am, then I am. Uh, because I know that there are people from the LGBTQ community that are playing the game and they're enjoying it and they're having fun with it because maybe as a young person growing up, they connected with that world because maybe as being a person that is gay or lesbian or transgendered or whatever their you know uh, who they are, they weren't accepted for who they were, right? And that was allowed them to escape into a world where people were accepted for who they were. Um, that's the thing. That's what if books that can when we're kids, we're young, we're growing up, books, movies, things like that that allows us to fantasize, to pretend, right? To escape into these worlds because a lot of times there's aspects of our lives that we don't feel accepted, we don't feel welcomed, we don't feel like we are allowed to be who we are. And so books and these types of things allows us to do that. And so later on when we're adults and they take something like this and they make it into a game or something like this to where it allows us to escape into these worlds and allows us to be young again, that's a good thing. That's a great thing. And I think if you're coming along and you're just poo pooing on people because of that, that makes you a horrible person. Because, and I also think, and I've seen these arguments being made like, drawing the analogies of like, yeah, you're sitting here on your phones and you're tweeting out and you're crapping on these people because they're whatever. And if you knew what it took to make the components of those game of that phone, right, you would see how hypocritical you are because, like the lithium for the batteries and how that lithium is mined and what the people who are subjected to mine that lithium, right? Um, and even in some aspects, like to get the gold, because gold is used inside of components and stuff, especially because of its conductivity, right? And some of the ways that they mine that gold, again in these same countries, what the people are subjected to. Look it up. They use mercury. Use mercury to get the gold, and these people are handling mercury. And if you ought to see what mercury does to the human body when you get exposed to it. It's not good. So just remember If you're living in glass houses, people, don't be chunking rocks. It just doesn't work out for you. So, you guys, if any of you out there feel like, hey, maybe I don't want to play this game because it's part of my childhood, but I don't want to feel, don't have guilt. Don't feel guilt because you want to play a game. Play the game because it reminds you maybe of a better time in your life, or it allows you to be a kid once again. That's always a good thing. And don't be ashamed of that, and don't hate yourself or beat yourself up because of it. Don't ever do that. Anyway, but listen, guys, I didn't get the full hour in, but again, my internet's being just a poo poo head today. Make sure to check out Max. Go support him. If you're not following him on Twitter, follow him on Twitter. Let's see here. I know I've got his Twitter here somewhere. There we go. There's his Twitter. If you're not following him on Twitter, follow this man on Twitter. I'm telling you, he is a jewel, and he's just a good person. He's just a good person, and I do want to thank him for letting the real D Max out of the bottle last night, and we had some fun with that, and I appreciate that. And but also make sure you're checking these other creators out, like Xylee and Mitch. Mitch Shockmouth, right? I even forgot to do this. Hang on here. Let me find it. There was so much stuff that happened yesterday evening that it was kind of, where is it at? Where is it at? Oh, man. Yeah, here we go. This will work. So this Mitch, they aged him up a little bit, or whatever. But if you notice, he's got him a peepaw hat, and I was so glad to see. I was like, yeah. Let me see. Can I cast Rickham some? I don't even know what that is, let's see. But if it makes you feel good and you want to do it, buddy, do it. That's all I can say. Just do it to it. It's not like I'm there and can stop you. So, do whatever you want to do. Toxic says, I love eating a burger in front of animal activists. I'll proudly play Hogwarts Legacy. Well, you know what? If that's what you want to do it to it, man. That's all I can say. Mitch gets a W. Mitch always gets a W. And I'm glad to see that he's out of the hospital and he's recovering. I know he kind of had a little bit of a scare there, and but they were able to identify what it is and get it under wraps. So, okay. But make sure you're checking out. Evidently, I've got a now recording episode to watch this morning after the stream. So go check those guys out. Which Mitch is part of that podcast. D-Max is part of that podcast. Check out. Make sure you're following Xylee. Dead on Dave says we are a go for this evening, or at least this is what he said last night, that we are a go for the Dead on Dave tonight with Willie Mac Wednesday. So look for an announcement on the starting time for that on Dave's Twitter feed. He'll let us know what time that's going to be. I think Willie Mac is supposed to be having a video come out here shortly. That's another great creator to be following. I think that's it. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Listen, guys, have a great day. Go Go do something today that makes you nostalgic for your childhood. Remember, even if it's dragging out an old series of books that you haven't read in a while, and reread and go through those books and remember what made you enjoy those books. Um, or maybe it's an old video game, maybe it's an old gaming system, whatever it is. Reconnect with the time and period in your life, and enjoy and remember what it was like to be young again. Um, I do it. It's what helps me keep young at heart, so that I don't get old and grumpy. So, anyway, until tomorrow. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me this morning. I appreciate you. Have a great day. If you can, because like I said, we're in a it's rainstorm, thunder and lightning and stuff. If you can keep your powder dry today, keep your powder dry, and we'll see you in the funny papers.
Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I've become. Can't you see it in my face?